game conditions, the image for the background. How are points scored? How does the game end? And I got to tweak the difficulty a little bit. Okay, so in my game here, let's run that. In my game here, I want it so that when the food hits the bottom of the screen, that you lose. And then when the food is touched by the skater, you get a point. So it's kind of flipping the game conditions, right? Because before you were trying to dodge those things and now you're trying to catch them. So the first thing I want to do is if I scroll down here, right here is what happens when I lose the game. So I'm going to uncomment this part. And I'm going to take this because what I'm going to work on here is the opposite. So if the enemy sprite, if the top of it, actually if the bottom of that sprite is now greater than the screen height, which is the bottom of the screen, then I'm going to kill the player and turn running to false. And I'm going to change here, I'm going to use the global running. So there's that. Now I need to change the score. The score happens back in the collision area. So if the player collides with the enemy, I got to check on something really quick here. Let's see. It's sprite collide, not collide any. So it's sprite collide, and that allows me to put in an extra parameter. And what that does for me is that says if the player collides with an enemy, kill the enemy. If that says true, it means kill that sprite. So it takes care of that cleanup automatically for me. Next, all I have to do is score plus equals 1. Okay? That's it. So I'm adding the score. So the last thing that we need to work on is the background. The background, remember, before it gets drawn as part of the game loop. Okay? So right here, because it's an image, I have to blit. Before we were doing screen.fill. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to find that spot where we filled the background with a color, and I'm going to put this instead. So we're loading a background image, and then we're blitting the image on. 0, 0 just says put the upper corner of the image, align that with the upper corner of the screen. I made the image 600 by 800, so it fits. And now, so we're blitting that, and then we blit the sprites onto it. So if I run this, did not work. Why did it not work? Escape BG. Let's make sure that should be appearing there. Pygame.image that loads. What did I do here? Jed. Oh, maybe I was working on that one instead. Let's see. It looks like I was. Okay, I just had the wrong file. Momentary panic, no big deal. So let's run that. There we go. So now I have my game, and you can see it's a little bit difficult. So maybe I want to do things like, remember how I adjusted the difficulty. So I can adjust the difficulty using how often they appear, right? I can adjust the difficulty by changing up the speed. So this is the speed range. Maybe I'll make them all go slower. And this is related to the score. So they won't get faster until the score goes up. But what I might want to do is minus score here. So they start, if I say score to the power of 2 or score squared, then it'll square the score and subtract it from that, which means it will start coming faster very quickly. So if we play the game, okay, so the score is working. Still not an easy game, but I could make the skateboarder go faster. Now you can see how fast they're coming. So maybe I increased the score difficulty a little bit too quickly. But those are all play testing. So the big bummer about building a game is that you have to play the game a whole bunch to make sure that it's working correctly. And I think I have cleaner versions of the skateboarder too. I'm just going to fix that for my own satisfaction here. Oh, that's not right. He had a white background there. So if we're going to do that, see, now I'm already invested in my little game here. All right. So there it is. That looks a little bit cleaner. A little hard to see on the background. And it might be fun to add things like, the ability to jump or something like that. Go faster, jump around. Maybe you have a car drive down the road every once in a while. You have to jump over it. So even with a simple game like this, you're already like starting to think of ways to improve it or make it more interesting. So anyway, that is how you take one game and make it a completely different game by just changing a few things.